Welcome to this video, which is more of an invitation actually for you to step into the ring. This video is all about the Heka Codes, and it is time for us to step into our creative power as very, very powerful creator beings. So we are all conscious creators, right? And this is the thing. Everybody says, oh, I don't know how to manifest. You are manifesting in every single moment, every single day you are manifesting, whether it's preferred or unpreferred. Now that is the issue, right? So if you look at the world is kind of probably a great example of unconscious manifestation. We got an awful lot of what we don't want out there, but us who are the ones that are kind of like stepping forward and being the way showers, we know differently. So what we're doing is we are choosing our inner reality, which will then develop and show us the outer reality, which is all highest timeline, high vibes, manifestation skills on point, and so on and so forth. And that is a perfect example of being a conscious manifester, right? So that gifted ability of which you think has always been devoid of you has always been with you and at play. It's just that whether you are sitting in the back seat or whether you're actually steering wheel driving the car. So this is what I'm inviting you in, to step into that arena now and be the master of your own experience, right? So the Heka Codes, Heka, let's talk about Heka. Heka is magic and manifestation, and is deeply connected to the Egyptian teachings. And Heka can be likened to a creator god. He is known as a god, but he's very much consciousness and he's very much power and energy. He kind of reminds me of the I am frequency, because it's a presence and an energy that was there way before the gods. So when the people prayed to the gods and actually asked them to grant their wishes, which was their prayers, the gods would then reach even further up higher to invoke and call forth the energy, the magic, the power of Heka. So they could actually have the power themselves to be able to grant the wishes. That's how big this is. And that consciousness is in you. That consciousness is in me. But as we're talking about Heka as a creator god, he's up there waiting to flow through you. So the Heka Codes is actually very much to do with the power of three. Okay, well, in Marie's world it is anyway. So we have three very powerful gods that kind of like place hold each part of that process. So as I've said, intention plus action equals creation, right? So now we bring a god in for the intention part, which is Sia. Sia is the god of perception, intention. He is the god that will bring awareness to whether you've got blockages in your channeling abilities. He's going to clear up your third eye, because if you need to be able to vision it, you need to be able to see it, you need to be able to visualize it to be able to bring a manifestation forward. So if you have no idea here and you can't see it, then you're just going to be stagnant. So that is where he comes in, and he will help you deep dive into that part of the process, which is the first stage of the manifestation process or the formula. The second one is Hue, or Who, however you want to say it. HU. Hue is the placeholder for the action part of the alchemical formula. So he'll be the one that says, yeah, love that idea that you got going on there. Love the vision. Love the way it looks. Now let's start to bring it into land and create a runway to actually hold this idea so you can bring it into the physical. Because remember, nothing can be manifest unless you're prepared to show up in the middle world, because that's the 3D consciousness. 3D meaning third dimensional. That's the only place that we can really create, which means we can really receive, right? So he's going to help you kind of like face your fears, clear the distortions away of any fears of being seen, or anything that might be preventing you from coming in to landing in the physical world with that beautiful idea of yours, right? Then we move into Heka, which is the third of the three stages. And Heka is the explosive manifestation, like boom, it's in the world. What does it look like in the world? It has some longevity to it. And, it's basically full manifestation power as a result of going through stage 1, Sia, stage 2, Hu, and now into Heka. So that is a very, very quick way of kind of explaining the Heka Codes, because I have many videos here on YouTube which you can deep dive into, and also a meditation that accompanies it, so you can actually feel that energy in your being. But either way, whichever way you choose to come and work with it, it is an alchemical formula that has been that's in your DNA from like a very long time ago. This is ancient wisdom. So it's your job to kind of like revive that, to consciously bring it into your awareness, to work with it once again, ancient wisdom for modern day living, right? So it's a powerful template to bring the divine feminine into, because the template is always the divine masculine. Energy loves order. So if you want success and you want to complete on all of these creations and ideas, you've got to go through that threefold process of manifestation, right? That is the formula, right? So I'm finding in my pathway, which I've been walking this for a very, very long time, and kind of like trying all these different things, and obviously walking the spiritual path per se. We have all got kind of like, what's great, the intention's very easy, the vision, the ideas, go into a channeled meditation. Isis visits you, and there's all these magical things that happen, and all these aha moments. And that's kind of like the intention, that's seer working. Then we kind of get to the idea, and we're like, yeah, we got to do this, and I need to do this in my life, and so on and so forth. But then we get stuck there. We get stuck on the second stage of the threefold process because we don't come in, we just circle and circle. We don't come into land. So it's really important that we do bring it all the way through to the actual physical manifestation, grounding it, clearing any fears or distortions of what could be in the way of you bringing that idea. You might be the idea into full fruition, right? So the Heka Codes right now is up front and center. Why? Well, it's always been up front and center, but why now? Because we're now at this point where we've done so much shadow work and we have gone through the dark nights of the soul, and we've cleared and cleared and cleared. We've been through an intensely transformational Lionsgate portal, and now we move into September, and we're sat here going, wow, okay, eclipse season is upon us. It's a number 9 year. It's a number 9 month. Completion, dunzos. So what's happened now is because we've had our head down and we've been furiously beavering away, clearing all the distortion. We've been so used to that for so long. Now, all of a sudden, we've arrived, and now the eclipse and the moons and all of the portals that are coming up are kind of saying, right, where are you going to go now? And we're like, wow, haven't really asked myself that question. So we need to know, like, where are we going to go now? So this is why the Heka Codes and working with something like this is very, very important, because now at this time it's about you questioning your purpose, or questioning your gifts and abilities. You might be aware of some. Are there more? There's always more. What have you come here to do? What have you come here to land? And remember, the backdrop to every single thing we do as a conscious creator is joy, because joy is truly success, and success is joy, right? It's not about having loads of gold coins in your bank, even though that will happen anyway. But it's like, it's not about the destination, right? It's the journey. So it's actually about being in that energy, in that flow of being a creator being, and just loving the process. Because I put it to you now, this is why you really, really got to tap into this formula to make sure that this energy is in flow all the time. Because once you've completed on the Heka Codes, intention plus action equals creation, and you've landed that particular idea, project, or vision, right? What's the first thing you're going to do as soon as you've landed it and you've made it happen? You're going to start again. So that tells us that it's not the thing that we're actually working towards that is got kind of like all the juice in it. It's the feeling of being in flow consistently and constantly as a creator being, which is just being in that Heka Codes all the time. So once you've remembered, because remember, September is all about remembering, which is soul retrieval in a way of all of these parts of self coming into wholeness. Once you've remembered, okay, how it is to work with this very ancient formula, and you've gone, oh yeah, I remember this. It's not rocket science, right? It is in you. You can put any project, any idea on that 3-stage formula. An old idea that maybe not got off the ground, place it on the Heka Codes, intention plus action equals creation. Where do you feel that it gets stuck? Maybe it stammers a little bit when you came into land. Maybe your platform wasn't big enough. Maybe the idea and the vision wasn't big enough or clear enough. You know, this is where you're going to ascertain where the sticky parts are with your creation process. So as I say, this is a very, very powerful time to action such things. Everybody I'm speaking to, we are all wanting to move from where we're living, whether it's the house or the country or whatever. We're all questioning what we're doing for a job and how we're showing up and expressing our creative abilities. Most of us have kind of gone, no, this wasn't it. And you may be upgrading and up-leveling an already way of you expressing yourself in the world, or you might be leaving it behind completely, going through that absolute death and starting brand new with something else. So whether you are wanting to up level or upgrade what you're already doing, or whether, you know, taking off the next layer, or whether you actually just want to start from the beginning and propel, the Heka Codes is something that will serve you. It's served you all the way through your lives before. It's going to serve you all the way through your life and lives to come, right? Because it's the ancient formula that you agreed to awaken in this timeline, and it's going to be potent, very, very potent to jump on this now because of the energy that's surrounding you and me and all of us, right? Because we are really really in this potent time of change. We're on an absolute threshold energy, right? So as we're moving from one world to the other, and it's about time that we should be looking at things like this to actually exponentially propel us onto the next level, right? Because remember, where you go, others will follow. And this wisdom you will share with others to come as well. So the Heka Codes can be experienced in two different ways, right? So we have the 2-hour power session, 2-hour power. Do you like that? Basically, it holds the same bones as the Heka Codes, intention plus action equals creation. In the sessions, we get to address whatever the idea is, what it is you want to bring into fruition by working with that 3-stage process. Channeled meditations, activations, removal of any blocks that might be in the way, and so on and so forth. Yes, I give you homework because it's always about a mentorship. It's always about showing up at the end, right? And I will stress to you very strongly through my years of doing this and my wisdom, right, is the magic always ignites when you're at the edge of your comfort zone. And number 2, the magic always ignites after the ceremony, after the session, after the tour to Egypt, after, right? Because now it's that time of like, you know, in the session, we kind of brainstorm, we activate, we alchemize and do all of these things. But then the job is can you land it into your physical life? That's where the work happens. And I will be on call on WhatsApp all the time to support you as you land into that new way, because the work really happens after the sessions, right? So that's why it's really important that you work with the checklist that I give you at the end, any meditations or anything like that may help you kind of like start the process of what the Heka Codes has ignited, right? And it's really important to be held accountable, because that's when the magic really lands. When you get up from your seat and you go, wow, that was a crazy mad vision, had a mad crazy session with Marie. Okay, let me go to my checklist now, and let me do one thing every day to actually put the inspired action into motion, right? And that's a very important thing to finish off on here. Inspired action, right? It's really, really important that you step into the ring and that you put something very, very physical in your life that changes the vibe, right? So you can go in that direction. And once that happens, spirit takes the wheel, and then we're vibing, right? So that is one way of doing it. These sessions, these single sessions are great if you've already done a mentorship deep dive, 3 sessions with me. If you've already done that, it's a great maintenance session. But let's talk about those 3 sessions deep dive. This could be something that you rather be more immersive about. So I've just explained the single session. The 3 sessions are intention, which is seer, action, which is who, and Heka, which is the creation. All right. So we've said that it comes in 3 stages. So now, of course, with the Heka Codes mentorship, you do 1 session, you kind of vibe for about 10 days ish. You don't want to go too quick because then you miss things. You don't want to leave it for too long because then you lose the momentum. So it's usually around 10 days that we have our second session. Second session, we then focus on deep diving, right? It's all about landing into that platform and everything to do with that. So Hugh will be your guiding support all the way through that. And then, of course, 10 days later, we go into the absolute explosion of the manifestation of the idea. So you will go through a rainbow of process as you go through a 6-week journey with me. Okay. There's obviously WhatsApp support and so on and so forth. Homework after every single session to make you accountable and to have you show up in the physical world. That is really, really important about my work. Showing up, being seen, right? And that is really the golden key to all of this, right? That really activates the manifestation. So these sessions are going to be kicking off from the 22nd of September, which is doubly cool because it's actually the equinox, you know, and that we would have moved through the eclipse season a little bit, well, quite a lot. And then we will be doing sessions like these to actually change the direction now and really show up in the world, really be commanding in your space that you are now claiming the alchemy work within you and without, and really kind of like working consciously with what you want to bring into your life, no longer being force-fed by the world stuff you don't want, right? So this is a very, very powerful way of doing it. So if any of this resonates and you really feel that you're ready to deep dive, I only do three big mentorships at a time. I have 1 space left. Single sessions, no problem. So you just let me know. I will be traveling again over the coming days, but I will be picking up messages and things like that as I go. But like I say, it's now. Time is now. Let's get it popping. Let's get the Heka on and let's get creating. So yeah, thank you for watching my video and I will see you on the next one. Peace, as always. So much peace.